friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. It is freezing outside, so we thought to make a nice simple project to hold my books because I'm not an audiophile. I lost
a
the word.
bookophile.
It's not bookophile. I like to read books.
It's so cold we can't think straight.
Right. I'm a bookworm. I like to read books, and I have no place in our bedroom for my books, right? So what we're doing today is a very simple design. I would call it modern. We're going to use two different species of hardwood because we have it, right? You don't have to. You can actually use pine and stain the brackets of the wall a different color to achieve the contrast that we are going to show you here.
So, and there's different budget, considerations. Hardwood is generally more expensive than pine, but it also requires less, preparation because they are generally factory smooth and cut to certain dimensions. Anyway, just some considerations there.
They are also harder to work with.
Yep. Harder
to screw or nail. They're more likely to split. Everything has pros and cons, right? Mm-hmm. If you're budget minded, 2x material works beautifully here, right? A 1x6 board.
Yep. That
will cost maybe $6. Will easily give you this shelf that we build today for you, right?
Yep.
And again, you can take this and stain it to have the contrast. So today we're going to show you how to build this step by step. So stick around. This is going to be a fantastic episode, and you are still our favorite viewer. If you go to any store, you will realize how expensive shelving is these days, right?
Yes.
A board by itself can easily be $20, $30, $40.
Oh, or more than that, depending on, the design or where you buy it from.
And then you will need brackets. So we decided to build one for ourselves today. And we build it with hardwoods, right?
Yep.
A couple of reasons. We had the bracket for hardwood, and I like contrast in the things that we build. Mrs. DIY likes more the stain look, but I like no contrast.
We have a variety of different methods of, coloring and design and finishes throughout the house. So I don't like to stray too much, but in different applications, it's okay to have these types of variations. And it's what you like.
So you could do it fairly inexpensive for under $6 with a single board of 1x material. And this is a little bit of a remnant. And as you can see, it can even be wider, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is pine.
Right, this is pine. This is inexpensive wood, as I said. But $6 for 8 feet. So you could probably do several. What is our cost? Well, our cost is about 6 feet for what you see, though. We have no remnants, right? We have no waste. Oh, I guess we have a small piece, but we'll call it $6, right?
Yep. Okay.
So for softwood, probably this will be about $2 or $3, maybe $2. Because out of an 8-foot board, you will get 3 easily.
Right. So this is about, an approximately, 30 to 34 inch wide piece of, what did we say it was? Oak?
Yes.
Okay. And, I think we bought it in like a 4-foot length. And it was about how much?
It was $4.
$4. So that's kind of a bargain for a hardwood.
Yeah, but still.
But you also, considering the size of whatever it is you want to build.
Right. You could, for these numbers, is about half the cost to do it with pine.
Yeah.
So anyway, still not an expensive, because as I said, this is a finished shelf. Mm-hmm. And you can buy just a board for $20, $30, $40. So DIY for the win again, right?
Absolutely.
Mrs. DIY, what was the hardest thing here?
I don't really think there was a very hard part to this video other than just deciding how we wanted it to look and how to put the pieces together.
Because we are that good.
I know.
So like we usually do, we're looking at our wood. We went to the wood we have available to us. And this looks a little bit like, what is this? I think this is oak, product of New Zealand. It has to be oak. It is a hardwood. And how we know it's a hardwood? Because you see how dense it is? Mm-hmm. That tells us it's a hardwood, and I believe it's oak. And then we have some purple heart and what might be walnut.
Yep.
And we think between those pieces of wood, we will be able to build something. How about that?
I think we should.
So here is the conundrum. We need to make these two pieces into 4 pieces, right?
Right.
But we cannot randomly cut them. That might not work very well. So decision number 1, we want the support to be the same width as the shelf, right?
Right.
Which takes one of the measurements away from us. We'll just mark it and cut it, and then cut the other one, and we'll have a little bit left, but that's okay. Then the other component will be the one that goes to the wall, right?
Right.
And on this, we are limited by the dimension of this piece, right?
Right. Or we could take a different tact, since what it looks like is that this, oops, let me come down here, that this is less than half of the dimension of the board, right?
Yep.
So if we cut both of them at the short dimension to meet the width of the shelf, then we have 2 longer pieces to use for the uprights.
Right. And there is not right or wrong here, right? Both approaches are correct. It's more about aesthetics. Do you want whatever is on the wall longer or shorter? Mm-hmm. And theoretically, you could even make it an L and not have anything protrude underneath.
Right.
So it is any way you want it.
How cold is it in the
It is
in the
40.6
gym
degrees.
today,
Baby, it's
Professor?
cold outside.
It's pretty cold. It's 16 degrees outside and snowing.
And it is 40 inside.
40 inside.
And
So
not snowing yet.
it was snowing this morning when I walked the dog.
Not inside?
And not inside.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not snowing
So
yet.
we have our big buddy on, and we have 2 fans. Why do we have 2 fans?
Because you and I are on different planes. Well, we're not technically, but we're in different directions from the fan. You are straight ahead of it, and you are serviced by this fan here. And I'm on the side, and I'm serviced by this fan here.
So it's providing warm air to your direction.
And one of the neat things about these fans, you can have as many as you want. They don't use power, right? They are convection based. So when they get hot, they work. Unfortunately, they do get hot. So once you set them,
Right, you can't touch them.
you can if you have gloves. But
No, don't touch them.
can't
Wait
touch
till they
this.
cool off.
All right, are we going to build? Yes, let's build. So the way we always do, we're not going to use a measuring tape, but remember we need to cut the pieces this length, right?
Right, 2
Which
pieces.
is really the depth, but depending on how you look at it.
Right.
So we need to cut 2 pieces that. We're going to put it here on our miter saw, bring our blade down, and put a stop block.
Right. So
And-
it's between the blade and where the stop block is, and we've fastened it down with the clamp so that we know exactly, once we put the boards through here to cut, they'll be exactly the right length.
Yep. And we still don't know the width of this board because we don't need to know.
We didn't measure it. We're using the visual dimensions.
We are the non-measuring channel. So with everything set as we saw you, we're going to put our first piece and we're going to touch our stop block. And now we know that our blade will cut the correct dimension, right?
Right.
So now we're ready to do you need to hold it the other one side. Okay.
So you can see this is the piece that we cut with our dimension here. And it is, about an inch or so smaller than the other one, which is what we're going to use for our upright.
Correct.
Now we're going to cut the other one and we'll have 4 pieces, 2 pairs.
Correct? Hold it. You need to hold the wood. So we successfully made 4 sticks out of 2 sticks. Welcome to woodworking.
That
right?
happens when you cut it.
That's what happens when you have to cut it.
Yep.
And as you can see, without measuring, we have a pretty perfect fit there, right?
Yep.
And if we change projects, we can just put them underneath and we have a nice platform. There it is, project number 1, right? No, I'm joking. Now, these will become our attachment points, yes?
Okay.
And we have to decide if we want it exactly in the middle,
No.
whatever we want. But we're going to decide that and let you know what we're doing. So our next decision is the width of our shelf, right? This is going to be our shelf. And we want to know how wide we want it. And that of course, varies drastically based on your needs and what you plan to use the cell for. Or if you're selling them, this could be the longest, the widest you sell, and that will change the way you price them. The assembly will be the same regardless of the width. And the way we're trying to decide is by visually checking it. And what Mrs. DIY has done there is using two of our pieces to see how she likes the aesthetics of it, right?
Right. So we need to just decide how long we want the shelf to be. We don't want it to be, extremely long and potentially have, bowing happening in the middle, since we're only providing 2 supports. Not that we'll put anything extremely heavy there, but it's also a visual component. So if we want to bring the supports in from the edge and have, kind of an equal distance here, I think that's probably a good dimension.
Okay. So the next step will be to cut it to that dimension.
Right.
So now we're going to cut. Or so we thought, right?
Yeah, now we're ready.
And we have a beautiful cut, just beautiful. Right?
Yep.
So do you want to clear this? This is the factory edge. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
So it's up to you.
Yeah, let's take a little bit of it off. It does greatly differ, and I don't want to have to sand it.
Really? Who are
Yeah.
you?
Yep.
What did you do
Yep.
with Mrs. DIY? Ready?
Yep.
Notice we have nothing left. We have nothing left because I didn't want to waste wood. I just wanted to take the factory edge off, which we
Right.
did, right?
Yep.
So,
And you can see that Professor DIY's mouth is putting out. Yes. Whew, it is still very brisk in here.
the things we do for you guys,
Yeah.
working in freezing conditions. So we have the label there, and we have a big body here. So instead of using more fuel to warm the label up or electricity, we're using the big body to warm it so we can remove it easily. Again, because measuring typically adds error, doesn't remove it, we drill pilot holes through both of these pieces at the same time because they have to be at the same spot in order to keep the visual. And as you can see, we have our holes now. Do you think it went all the way through in the back?
No, this second piece that was on the bottom didn't go all the way through because we have a fairly short.
Okay.
Drill bit.
Do you want to go ahead and take
Yeah,
them through? Okay.
We'll go ahead and go all the way through.
But now that you have your holes already, it is a more straightforward process, right?
That's
now-
simple.
Yep. Now we have through holes, and we are going to attach. Hopefully, we made the holes to the right ones. I just thought of that.
Yeah, these are the short ones.
And this is the attachment, right? So we probably need to try and find a way to secure them. I would start by starting the screws until we see them. That would be the easiest way to do it. Okay, let's do it. Unfortunately, Elpida is not here with us today, so we are a little deficient on how we record things. Inefficient, because something like that requires both of us, right? Before you start the screws, will be a good place to decide which side you prefer to be visible, right? Because one of the two sides will be on the wall.
Oops. And don't drop your screws.
Don't?
Don't.
Well, if you insist.
Yeah, I think this is right because this will be the wall side.
Okay. No, that will not be the wall
This
side.
is the yeah. If the screw goes this way,
This is the screw that attaches this
I
lobe.
know
So that will be here. The wall,
it'll be like this.
I guess it can be either way.
If the screw goes this direction, it has to be under here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Another proof how dissimilarly we think. But that's okay.
Okay.
And what we're doing now is we're going to start them and go all the way until we barely come out on the other side. And then we are going to connect the two pieces.
Can you feel?
Not yet. There, it's done. Yeah, they're both out. All right. Now I will need to help and I cannot record because we need to put the pieces together. So we'll be back with you when we're done. With one completed, we are going to do the other one, and we want them, it is important for this application that the two are very, very similar, identical if possible, right? So we're going to put the second one on top of the first one. Again, this is the way so you don't have to measure. Not have even, you don't measure, right? You can use your screw gun.
My screw gun?
Yeah, that thing.
That one?
So what we do is we are aligning them. Can you align the other side, please? I'm not aligned. And then we'll know we're in the correct spot, right?
Yep,
And are you going to use the magic clamp?
I will.
All right. So our next step is to see exactly where we want the shelf to land. And you can see the contrast we were going for with the different colors of wood, right?
Yep.
Now, I would like to just select this piece. I don't know what you would like, Mrs. DIY.
Well, we don't use shellac, but we could use a poly or
I
some
bought
other
shellac.
coating. We don't use shellac.
We use shellac today.
No.
Yes. Shellac is the best.
No.
And you can see actually there is more than one way to have the shelf, right? Mm-hmm. This is how it will be visible on your wall right now. Unless...
Or you could do it this way.
Yeah, with more...
And have this underneath.
Yeah. Or you can even do it this way.
Yeah. But then it won't go on the wall.
It would go on the wall, but it would be interesting.
Like that?
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say it would be interesting.
Yep, good.
All right, so there are different ways you can play with it. So like every DIY project you build, every step is an opportunity for options, right?
Options and different decisions.
So in our case, this is fine the way it is, right? The shelf, because all the pressure will be down. You don't need to necessarily attach these two pieces. Mm-hmm. But we decided to attach them.
Right.
Because it is us. But anyway, so we're going to attach them using screws. You could attach them using brad nails, right?
Yep.
There are many options, even glue.
One thing we want to make sure is that we're not going to, whatever we do, if we're using a fastener, we're not going to go through the top part of this. It needs to look, completely finished and unmarked.
So it's always a good idea to put your screw and have a visual representation, right?
Right, of how deep it's going to go. We're going to put screws here through the bottom of this brace. They won't show in this piece, but we also don't want it to show on this side. So we have to go deep enough, but not too
over deep.
Correct.
We have very, very little margin of error here.
We do.
All right, let's go. You need screws in order to screw things together, right?
You generally do.
Now this being the underside, those screws are not visible. And now we're going to do the other side.
Yep.
So again, pilot holes minimizes the likelihood that you will split your wood. It never eliminates it, but minimizing is better than not, right?
Right.
Especially with hardwood, you should never put a screw in a hardwood without first drilling a pilot hole. That invites trouble. You can get away with it on pine or softwood, but hardwoods are not forgiving. All right. I'm usually on the other side of the camera, so. Excellent. So this is a simple project, but one that I encourage people to do because it can be very useful, right? In fact, you can stack those. You can see, I don't know if you can imagine it. Stack them like there is a line behind them.
Have several, up and down a wall. Right. You can put books on them or you could put knickknacks on them.
And if you want to put something heavy, you really can. But I would say that this dimension should be about 16 inches apart so you can hit studs.
Right.
This is a very sturdy, it doesn't look at it, but it's a very sturdy shelf. A, because it's hardwood, and B, because those two screws can hold a lot of weight, right?
Yep.
I mean, it can probably hold me or Mrs. DIY. You want me to put it on the floor and step on it so you
No,
can see?
I don't want you to do that.
I'm willing to.
No, I know. I understand.
Okay. So, not every project has to be complicated, difficult, etc., right?
Right.
But at this stage, it is a decision point for you. And for you, I mean, you, our viewer, not you, Mrs. DIY. Do you leave it like that? I really like this look. But if it was less nice wood, you could paint it if it was a child's bedroom, right? Some really fun colors, yellows and whites and blues, right? You can stain it, you could Suzuki bag it. You can build the same self using pine. You don't have to use hardwoods.
Right.
So I think we are going to just cover it with a little protectant and we'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
All right. So we're going to poly it with a spray poly for two reasons. It tends to dry fast, so we can finish this project and use it today. And it is a fairly easy way to apply, right?
Yeah.
So again, Minwax is one of the companies we use. We're not sponsored by Minwax. We did buy this with our own money. And this is plenty of material to finish this little shelf. Lessons learned. This, I think, is a beginner project easily, right?
Yes, I agree.
You need to take a little bit of care, but other than that, you know, for example, I did not pay any attention if this board is flat or not, because it's not really very critical, and it is not. You see it rocking? Mm-hmm. It is really not that critical for this application, but we noticed it when we were assembling it.
Yep.
And Mrs. DIY said it would do something wrong, and I said, no, probably it's the board, and I just now remember, and it is indeed the board, right?
Yep. So when you're purchasing, you also want to pay very close attention to that.
Lesson learned.
And it shouldn't be. I mean, this was a factory edged board. It was prepared, so it should have been completely straight.
Yeah, but we also brought it in a very cold garage, and you know, it's like
Yeah.
wood moves. It's a living thing, right? So
Well, it was.
you never, you can never assume. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But anyone can build this, and if you build it with scrap, you want to show our scrap pile? We almost have enough scrap to build another one, you know?
I'm not negative. I'm just seeing there are lots of little bits.
But you can make little bits into big bits.
Well, you have to put all the bits together to make
Right.
bigger bits.
So then, inexpensive, simple to assemble, and yet a couple of lessons again, right?
Yep.
If being absolutely flat is important, even in hardwood, check it before you purchase it, right?
Right.
And it doesn't look twisted, by the way.
Right.
It's only when you put it on a flat surface that you can see that there is a
Yep.
little bit of twist, right?
Yep.
So it is not like, in a 2x4 you can see it most often, but it is like horrible. This is not horrible, but it is noticeable when you work with it.
Yep.
Any other comments, Mrs. DIY?
No, I think it's a straightforward piece, and I'm going to enjoy seeing it on the wall.
All right, let's do the finish and then go to the warm place. So this is our finished project. We're just waiting for poly to dry now, which is very exciting.
Very.
We want to thank you for staying with us this very cold, snowy North Carolina day. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY, let's build something together.